Hi dear friends and friendly subscribers, welcome back to my channel. This is Inner Hill Tarot, and today we're going to, not we, but me, I'm going to do a VR video response video to Dragorsi. She's a different channel in YouTube who's also doing walkthrough and review for certain cards from time to time, and she has this hashtag my favorite chariot cards for this year 2023. And of course this year 2023 by numerology it's the year of number 7, so it's a chariot year. And why am I doing this today? Well, let me go back to the dragorsi first. So originally she wanted to make my favorite devil card. She's also wanted to do this as a VR to someone else, I forgot who, but then she realized I already did a devil card, if I'm not wrong. So she's kind of thinking, and in the end she decided to do a chariot cards instead. And I see this prompt, it's not really viral yet as now, so I'm a little bit wondering why as well myself, because I think it's a really good way to understand what the motivation of this year that we wanted to do, right? And now I'm going to go to my feeling why I want to do it today. So this week I'm kind of realizing that I feel kind of lost actually with the whole situation between my relationship with the people around me and with my tarot. And I was supposed to go into a study soon, but like recent days I'm not so sure anymore, because I got like a fallout with one of my clients slash friend, and I feel that I couldn't help her anymore in a psychologically manner, and I start to have a self-doubt myself. And on top of that, I was kind of thinking in a grand scheme this year. We have like a two times of a Aries season, Aries month right now that we are going through, and also in a Ramadan period for the Muslim brothers and sister, and also we are going through it now. And by the time the Ramadan is over on April 19th, we're going to have lunar eclipse, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's lunar eclipse. And then we will have another Aries season, and at that time it's like the end of April until the end of May. We will have and in the middle of the eclipse season we will have Easter. Okay, and also like after the eclipse we will have Buddha birthday, which is a Vesak day. So to me it's like there's a lot of significance dates here, and throw it in the middle is it's also a lunar eclipse. It feels to me that right now the Aries season is the best time to really recalibrate our chariots, you know, our 2023, even though it started in January. But with the weather right now that is going on in the UK, for example, I've noticed that a lot of flowers is already blooming, but we're going back again in the weather of a winter time. And it's kind of got me thinking that there is something that it's not working, and we need as a collective to recalibrate what is our motivation in doing things. And I feel that right now, as a Ramadan season and a fasting season prior to Muslim New Year, I think it's also a good time for us to fast as well, in the terms of like mind and consumerism, and just to recalibrate what are we actually doing. So with that, I was kind of thinking about the chariot year this year, which is also number 7. And I start outside of like looking at the tarot cards in itself. I'm also reading again all of the guidebook of a lot of tarot decks that I have. This is one of the major this is what one of the major goodness, not goodness, positive thing if you buy real decks, not fake decks. It comes with like a lot of good guidebooks. And when I read the Mary L. Tarot for the guide of the what do you call it, the chariot card, it's kind of blew my mind, because in here Mary White was saying that numbers, the chariot is a very central to the understanding of the tarot. It is a glyph, a map of the soul, of God, of the universe. 7 has always been magical, shamanistically profound number, because it's saying we can see 7 objects in the sky, which is the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn with naked eye. And therefore the ancients built mythologies around this god, around these gods, and so it's become the maps of our soul, right? And a lot of philosophies built around that, whether it's from Hinduism, Plato, and even Jewish Merkaba. So Plato described the chariot as a metaphor for the soul in 3 parts. One is the black horse, a white horse, and the charioteer called reason. So because of this sentence, Plato described the chariot as a metaphor for the soul. I'm started thinking again, okay, if the chariot year is about the year of the soul, so I'm kind of thinking also from the psychological point of view, what is the soul actually, right? What is the nature of the soul? So I got my book called Holy Fire. This is a really good book from Thomas Yeomans. So it's tried to this book is about to describe what is the process of a soul awakening, basically, and it can be very, very chaotic, and it's from a psychological point of view, psychosynthesis, which I'm studying at the moment. And so and yeah, the book is really good if you're really interested in what is soul. And sometimes when we go through dark night of the soul, we can be quite lost, just I think what I'm feeling right now actually. So that's why I feel that okay, I need to go back to this book to understand what is my soul missing at this moment. So back again to this wording here, that's saying Plato described the chariot as a metaphor for the soul in 3 parts: a black horse, a white horse, and the charioteer called reasons. So from here, let me just this part. Okay. So from here, I've kind of looking again, what is the nature of the soul? So I got it from this book, page 70, The Nature of the Soul. And it's talking about when there is an interview between Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyers. And Bill Moyers, I asked Joseph Campbell, if you guys don't know, Joseph Campbell is an author, the archetype of the hero's journey. The hero's journey, that's his book has become one of the base for storytelling in Star Wars and all of these things. You know, you guys should check it out as well. So basically Bill Moyers asking, Joe, isn't it true that all people are searching for meaning? Joseph Campbell replies, with a twinkle in his eye. Nobel, people are looking for an experience of being fully alive, the rapture of being fully alive. And I think with the rapture here being said, that's what it means. The chariot is the experience of being fully alive, you know. So like in here it said, at the moment I realized that the core of the soul is vitality and aliveness, not meaning and purpose. This was a revelation, and it helped me understand the Buddhist idea of no self and the shamanic idea of being a hollow bone. At the core of the soul, there was no content, just pure aliveness and being. Eureka. So from this book, with the nature of the soul is being a purely being alive, I'm embarked on the journey of looking at all of my tarot cards. Actually, I will bring up this book later on, why I think these guidebooks are really good, having the good chariot cards interpretation. So from that nature of the soul of being aliveness, I start to look all of my collection of tarot decks and get to some of a really nice chariot cards, I think. So without further ado, let's start with number 1. Okay, so number 1, that I got this chariot card from the Voyager Tarot. This is like the 2nd edition, and this chariot cards, it's really depicting how I feel right now with all of things that happening in the world, not just within me. So if we see like all of these chariots, it's so all over the top, you know, all over the place. There's like a surfer with the horse, water horse, and then there is an eagle. This can be like Odin as well with the raven, or also Julius Caesar. And there is like a person in the moon in the rover, and at the same time is a really antiquated Egyptian style chariot, and also all sorts of random things going on, like the crab, because the chariot is a Cancer, right? And it's carrying all of his bodies and his house inside of him, because he's a exoskeleton, so everywhere he is, he's at home basically. And also there's a balloon here, there's the earth, and there is a Jupiter. So in this card is really kind of explaining where I am right now, with my a lot of confusions of the things that going on around me. Because like yesterday I had a conversation with one of my friend and my partner, my future partner, I hope, in making all these YouTube videos about the possibility of World War III. And then the day before that I have a fallout, like I said, about the psychological stuff that I'm helping other people. And then I have, on top of that, I have cat work situation. I have my form to fill in for my new classes. I have my son going to China without me knowing. It's just all over the place, you know. It's like a lot of different direction in a lot of different feelings that I feel, right? And yeah, with this chariot card here, that's how I feel. It feels like everyone is going on with their own life, and there's a lot of chaos going on. I need to, looking at this, I need to see one spot, one focus. Where am I going? What am I doing, right? And with one eye, it's just like a person eye, and another one is just like very extraterrestrial being in the eye. It's just like one eye is looking outward in a macrocosm and another eye is looking inward, journey inside. So yeah, this is why I like this Chariot card from Voyager Tarot. It's very me. The journey can be in many ways. Yeah, and this is the backing, the mandala. It's very beautiful. Okay, next we go back to the Mary L. Tarot. This is the Chariot card from Mary L. I hope it's not okay. So basically in this Chariot card, Mary White, the artist of this this deck, it's saying that this Chariot card was inspired by the myth of Odin and his wolves and ravens. The body, the charioteer, is threefold: a black, dark bottom, that part covered in flesh and earth, the exposed soul of the heart in the middle, and the radiant sun is of the mind. The wolves are the fourfold of earth, the cardinal direction, which is north, south, east, and west. And also the four direction we can move our arms and leg. We can interact with reality with the four elements. Now in control of the chariot of your own soul, go with your free will and do your purpose in life. Keep an open heart and know you are in control of your own journey. Okay, so with this in mind, what I'm seeing in this chariot card is really someone who's in control with their journey, and they know how to connect body, mind, and heart and soul, and using the four elements, the four direction, and they're not moving, you know. This chariot is not, it's not moving outwardly like a lot of chariot cards are, but it's more like it's a quiet movement. So the movement is not outside, but inside it's like consideration. And with the black white here, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like you know, like in a computer when it's like loading something like this. So it's kind of like a loading movement within oneself. It's like, which part of the journey is this, which direction that I need to go to. This is the part that I think that we as a person is in control with. So this kind of like suits me as a chariot card. And also there's more wording in here that talking about tarot itself resembles a chariot, and why it is because in the macrocosm, which is the major arcana, in the tree of life we have three pillars. So it's like the pillars of mercy, severity, and mildness. So it's three, right? The number of three. And the minor arcana is like the body of the god, the earth, and it has like four elements, which is four. That means 7. So basically, to have an understanding of fully manifestation in 3D, we have to have the understanding of the major arcana. Where are we in the major arcana energy? And also on top of that, where are we in the elements? Which part of our being is not it's not in balance, you know, imbalances. So that's how we understand it. And within minor arcana itself, it's divided into 4 elements, each with duality of 7s. So 7 plus 7 is 14. What it means is like every minor arcana has each suit, each element. Like for example, let's say water, for the sake of it, because we are in a Cancer, in a chariot element. The water element, as also the other elements, have 14 cards in it. 4 court cards, which is in here said the soul, the embodiment of that element, and also number 1 to 10, which level are we in that element, number 1 until 10, right? So the soul means in this minor arcana, for example, if we got like the King of Cups as our character, so that means that we are fully understand where is our emotion towards a certain situation coming from, and we are fully aware of it, and we are in control of it. Whereas if we are like in a Page of Cups, for example, it means that we're still don't fully understand about the matter, and we're still collecting the emotion, collecting the data. How do I feel if I go to work at 10 a.m. instead of 4 p.m., for example, like that? So you still don't know, you're still collecting the data. That's how I feel about it. So also, if you want to know about your chariot, where are your chariot feeling, this Marielle Tarot guidebook is really, really good as well. That's how I feel about it. Okay, so the third card that I like about chariots right now is this Chariot card from the Baba Studio by Karen Mahoney, the Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. Why is this card is so significant? Because if you see, the character in here is so small. But that is actually the point of it, because it is quite weird. If you see in here, this is like a tortoise, a hair on a tortoise, but it has the same size with sludge, and also it's a weird, there's a shrimp, and on top of it there's a caterpillar as well, right? So basically in this Chariot card, there is a certain stories going on that started with the story of the hare and tortoise, competing who's going to get to the finish line, right? But we all know this story. In the end, the tortoise won because his pace was really steady, whereas the hare is like going very fast and then resting, going very fast and then distracted or eating or something like that. And in the middle of the journey, he fell asleep, and in the end, the tortoise won. And in this card of the Chariot, they make it even the story even more not complicated, but it's heightened in a way, because also it's actually the same story of the hare and the tortoise, but instead of just two characters, the Baba Studio taking into the next level, like this the story of the chariots, it's taking the story also of the snail and the caterpillar. So basically in here, after the tortoise won, they wanted to redo the race, and they decided to race with a lot of different bugs, because they just wanted to know who's gonna win. And in the middle of it, the hare, because he lost, so he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna ride you. And in the middle of the race, basically the tortoise also got distracted by lettuce, because he got hungry, right? And then the slugs got also distracted by different kind of veggies. And in the end, like the one that's the most slow is the caterpillar, and it took like the middle of the night, very, very slow. It seems like it's a Knight of Pentacles energy, but in the end he's the one who winning, you know, he or she, whatever. And the owl declare that he's winning because the other the other people are like too excited and they got too much eating again and fell in asleep. So it's like hare and tortoise times 3 level. And this is basically the chariots that give us a meaning of like be careful with early gratification no matter what you do, you know. Maybe sometimes like when we started to do work and we immediately got like you're doing such a good job and the boss love you and stuff like that, we kind of like rest in our laurel earlier than we should be, you know, and we're stop studying things that we actually don't know yet. And I feel that is what happening a lot with the social media era now, because a lot of times we can just do one tweet, one video, and we felt that, oh, we are the shit, you know. We just go to school for few years or like 1 or 2 years, and we think that we know the best or something like that. And this chariot card try to remind us like it's not like that at all. If that's one of the reason also I like being in England, actually, because in England, like, people who like something or they want to be specialized at something, they don't see timelines at all. They just kept on digging through digging through. For example, like this caterpillar, what is this caterpillar name is, why is it red? So it's just like all the details, and we need to know all the details if we want to be called specialists, right? But a lot of times right now it's not like that at all, so it's a shame. And this card is definitely telling us to remember this process. And with that saying, just like the card, the book of the Fantastic Menagerie Tarot by Karen Mahoney from Baba Studio, also being made with that kind of finesse, if you will, you know, because it's so well researched. And also, where is this painting is coming from, you know, with the short story of tarot, making the images of the Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. There's so many explanation that comes into the book, Playful Paths to Wisdom, you know, and how this painting come through and which part that they're editing. And look at the card in itself, because it's called stamped in a way that to deter the fake, the counterfeiters, right? Yeah, people who want to fake their deck. So the amount of work that goes into one card is the epitome of the chariot card in itself, you know. You just don't do this type of racing, but you also, with the detail of the guidebook, with the detail of the production of the cards, the kind of paper, the backing, the code stamping, the color, the editing of the image, you know. And on top of that, you just kept going no matter how slow it is, because you have to wait for the paper, for example, because it's special paper from Germany. But you just have to keep going. Right? That's the wisdom behind these chariot cards that I love very much. It's just don't stop. No matter how slow you are, don't get given into constant or instant gratification, rather. That's why this chariot card is one of my favorite. Okay. Whew. We already have 30 minutes and we just talk about 3 cards. Okay. I think it's only going to be 7 cards then. Okay. The fourth card is the shapeshifter, the chariot card from the Shapeshifter Tarot by DJ Conway and Sharona Knight, and also illustrated by the lovely Lisa Hunt, that just had one of her deck, the Pastoral Tarot, came out, and she's going to, I heard she's going to reprint it, the Fairy Tale Tarot. We shall see. Okay, so with this Chariot card that I like, it's just, first of all, the 7, but it's called Power, so it felt like the strength, you know, and also outside of the lion, it's the tiger, and it has things behind it, right? And why is that? It's just very majestic. Instead of like putting the hand to tame your lion, you, instead of that, you just let the lion go free. And so it's a very, very interesting imagery here from the Shapeshifter. Let's read the description here. Traditional card, the Chariot. Keyword: success, change, balance. This is a card of those individuals who achieve greatness and understand that true power is gained by tapping into the divine. So in here, in the first sentence itself, tapping into the divine, it goes back again to the nature of the soul that we were just talking about here. The sense of aliveness, you know, because that's the nature of the soul. And that's how I feel when I see this card. It feels like very free and full of aliveness feeling from this Bengal tiger, basically. So in here also said that the tiger, mouth wide open, is the vehicle of the man's consciousness, and together they become polarized as one, reflecting one another. As the most powerful predator on earth, the tiger man leaps through the water, charging beyond the bounds of ordinary reality, pushing the envelope into multidimensional awareness. Exactly. So what I feel from this card is like, why is this like one of my favorite Chariot cards today that I'm bringing? Is because instead of, you know, the Bengal tiger has the stripe, right? And the stripe is like the 2 horses, black and white, one. And it's like about the subconscious and the conscious manner. And instead of just like writing it as 2, he's synthesizing it as one being and riding with it and go towards the, like it said, multidimensional awareness. What does mean the multidimensional awareness? It means that when he feels fears, when he feels hungry, basically things that make the sympathetic nervous alarm goes off, like the flight, fight, fawning, and freeze turn on. He's not blaming anyone, or he's not projecting, he or she, basically, right? Not projecting this fear or anger to anyone, but instead it's just like, okay, this is my emotion, this is my feelings, how should I deal with it? Instead of just like being angry and hitting other people, right? Or feeding on other people's emotion. So that's why I like this card, because it's just make you like a superhuman, you know. It's like being a human is it's not just feeding into your emotion all the time. And this tiger being here is just like a symbolism that's, you can have a mastery over your emotions, basically. And how to do that? You do it with the wisdom from the Sphinx, basically. In here it said the Sphinx represents the great riddler and knows the secrets of the universe, secrets that said to be buried between the Sphinx itself. So what does that mean? That means it's like the Sphinx is wisdom, you know. You're not just learning by yourself a lot of people right now like doing self-healing, this type of word, and I don't mind with self-healing at all. But the thing is, a lot of times self-healing also being in illusion, you know, because you don't have the mirror of what other people opinion or help to see you that when you're in illusion, basically. So what it means with these things is like you need to have help from other people as well, especially the people who have more wisdom than you. So yeah, so yeah, if you cannot hear the wisdom of other people, that risk that you're also being in illusion and you're just feeding your ego, and that means that the tiger here will go rampant and eating other people. So that's why this card is really nice for me, and it's kind of remind me again on how to be in touch with my emotion mostly, and keep asking people around me, is this the correct way of doing things? I always like talk with my friends who does tarot also, or people who does photography, or people who does yoga, and also in psychology as well. I mean, am I doing the right thing, or am I being the asshole here? So this is the part of the Sphinx as well. Okay, so that's the shape-shifting energy of the Chariot, I feel, because you're just not, I haven't finished apparently, so you're just not like connecting with the emotions and the ferociousness of you, but you're also shifting into the energy of the wisdom whenever it's necessary, and that is power. That is when you know who you are, and you can go with the gusto into a direction where you want to go. That's how I feel. That's why I like this card. The only thing that I don't like about this deck is this deep blue edging, because it's kind of diminishing the prominentness of the cards. It's a shame. Of the image in the cards, I mean, it's a shame. Okay, so we still have 3 cards. So the 5th card that I have is the Chariot from the Santa Fe Tarot by Holly Huber and Tracy Lecoq. And this Chariot called Be Ganaskidi, if I'm not wrong. I probably really make sure. I'm probably most sure that I'm butcher it. Why is this special to me? Because this is like the Chariot in the realm of the spirit of the Native American tradition. So the Santa Fe Tarot, this Chariot. So this character here, according in English name, this is the Navajo god of the god of plenty or of harvest, and camel god. Biganaskidi travels the world with a deerskin backpack of seeds. This is his backpack. And he gives the seeds to the people for planting, and upon harvest returns to gather some of the seeds for safekeeping. In this way, the people will never go hungry, and Biganaskidi continually roams and carries with him the seeds needed for the future. So basically, why I feel this Chariot card is special. I think this is also the myth of Kokopelii. Kokopelii is very famous. It's like he has a Dionysian nature in him, the Kokopelii, and I think this character Ganaskidi is also him, because Kokopelii also have a has a backpack behind him, so he looks like hunching. And this is looks, and he Cocopelli has like flute, just like Pan, and just like Dionysus, that he will sing and he will use the flute to make people into a trance, you know, to gain transcendence. So for me it feels like very the same, and also the Cocopelli as well the same, giving away seeds to people to grow so uh, they will never go hungry, you know. And why is this special to me, and why is this my favorite? I think because this chariot card, as a chariot, this is like a higher calling. For example, this is like Biganaskiri or Cocopelli. They are gods, right? They're spirits. They don't need to do this. But they do it anyway. Why? Because they want to serve the humanity, and they've been asked to do so, and they've been doing it because they want to do it. And it's kind of reminded me again of why I'm doing the videos for the tarot, for example, or why I'm doing what I'm doing in my other jobs, like reading tarot actually, and also doing work with cats and doing work in psychology. And the last few days those work had makes me feel this way, that I'm kind of like stretch out all over the place with different type of travel, different type of distance, and different velocity, different time, and it's kind of stretched me out kind of feel. But with this Cocopelli or Biganas Kitty, and it's going from, you know, it's like it goes to traversary. It's not like the terrain that he goes through is a flat land. It has mountain, it has valleys. So it's kind of remind me again that's going through my work as creating tarot deck videos, as much as the other things that I'm doing, it's also going through mountains and valleys as well. And with this, I'm also really thankful for you guys that keep tuning in, subscribing, sharing, and commenting my work. This is why you guys helping me, because you're helping me going through the mountain and the valleys in what I'm supposed to be doing, like planting the seeds, you know, planting the seeds of what I'm actually reading also from the book. It's not just my opinion, it's my interpretation, but it's not just my opinion. There's something channeled in me as well to do this kind of videos, you know. Like yesterday I didn't even know this hashtag exists. It just came out to my YouTube feed, and just something telling me, do this video, it will help you to think about what is your chariot. So yeah, I don't want to be morbid or weird or something with this, but yeah, thank you guys again. And this is why this chariot card is one of my favorite. Okay, so let's go to number 6. Number 6 is this chariot card from the Autonomic Tarot by David Keenan and Sophie Hollington. I think the card themselves, it's made by Sophie Hollington. They're British artists actually. And this chariot card, like, oh my god, if you see it, it feels to me, it's like this what is Freddie Mercury religion again? Let me check real quick. Zoroastrian. Yeah, it looks like the Zoroastrianism chariot actually. Like you know, there's like a god in Zoroastrianism, like he's on top of like a wing, like a bird, but from metal. And yeah, that's where he is. And it's like the god of Zoroastrian, Zoro I don't even know how to pronounce it right. Zoroastrianism. I don't know how to spell it. So why is this chariot is my favorite? Because it has says in here, if they could send a satellite into space, which is this guy, what then, Jonah? What belly starts out on the tips of your fingers? That is constellations retreating. That is telescope the wrong way around. Look, here I have a belly button. Pull on it. Sink the ship. It is what makes me balloon. A paratrooper. I would dream of them, these young boys falling from the skies, all that color. So basically with this chariot card, it's kind of giving me the direction directly, you know, from this state of mind where I'm stretching all over the place. So instead of like just focusing outright to the galaxy, to what's happening in April 19 in lunar, what would happen in that time with the lunar eclipse, let's start to journey inside. What is the direction inside here? What will make me happy and satisfied at this time? Will going back to school makes me happy? Will continuing doing the videos like this would make me happy? What is it, right? So this is why this card is my favorite chariot card right now, because it gives me balance. You see with the black and white here as well, like the black horse and the white horse. So yeah, to be consciously thinking inside to the bottom instead of like keep going outside and projecting into our own shadow, projecting my own shadow into other people, but going to consciously see inside what is going on. So that is why this card is my favorite. Okay, and last but not least, this card, this chariot card from Myth and Legend by Taylor Bryn. That's right now she's making another Kickstarter project for her Terra Arcana project. I will link the Kickstarter in the bio today, so you can back it and you get the Earth Arcana deck. It's really beautiful as well. So this chariot cards, why I like about it, look at the back. Why I like about it is because it's taking on the Viking myth where they like burn the body when someone died as a hero to go to the Valhalla this way. Valhalla is the Viking version of heaven, eternity ever after, and you can only go to Valhalla if you die in the battle, if I'm not wrong. It's kind of morbid in a way, I feel, but how do I know? I'm not Viking. I mean, I think there's a little bit of Viking inside of us, especially when it's about Thor, the mighty Thor and the handsome Thor, you know. So yeah, of course. Channeling Chris Hemsworth, of course. But yeah, in this sense, I really like these chariot cards because, first of all, it has the element of water, which is the Cancer here, that is really prominent in all of the chariot cards that I have today as like the back as my favorite. Most of them doesn't have water in it. This is water as well, I think, but it's not very clear. This is definitely space, and this is the spirit realm, which is air, and this is the earth realm, right? This is also spirit realm or earth realm, and only this one who also have the water with the tiger running through the water here. So that's why this card has become my ultimate chariot card favorite, because it's also symbolizes that to go through and to have direction, we also have to have fire. We have to have the will inside of us. We have to have and in here it's burning the body, right? So it's like also when you have direction, a direction to go, there is some sacrifice that we need to do, and in this sense it's like the body. But at the same time, in a practical manner, when we're going towards something, we kind of sacrificing ourselves in our practical manner. It's like maybe we don't eat certain food, like fasting, the Ramadan, or we give offering. We don't shop for the whole month, for example. We don't go buy fast fashion this month. We don't buy more tarot decks for this month. This type of sacrifice, you know. So it's also become one of my favorite chariot cards today because of this, because of the sacrifice elements, the will element that has to you have to have when you want to go steady into one direction to go to your goal. So that's it, guys. Ooh, for 51:04 minutes. I didn't know it's going to be that long, and we only talk about 7 cards. So that is my favorite chariot cards at this moment. So maybe you also want to do a VR, please let me know, and I would love to see your VR videos as well, and also sending it to dragorsi as well, please. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Please let me know if it's resonates. What do you think? As always, it will always my pleasure to see your subscription, sharing, and comments if you feel this is helpful for you and for your tarot reading journey as well, and have it into your own psychological study. So please let me know, guys, and see you soon again in the next video. Okay, bye bye.